A short story by Paul McCann. Bobo and the Roses. It was early one August morning as Bobo climbed up the ladder to wash the windows around Bosco's boxing club. Charlie was standing at the foot of the ladder, keeping it steady to prevent it from slipping. Mrs. Dougherty was on her way to the bakery shop, and she noticed Bobo and Charlie working away and crossed over the road. Good morning, Bobo. Hello, Charlie. When you finish, you can do mine if you have time. Bobo replied, we're okay. We've enough here to keep us going for a while, thanks, Mrs. Dougherty. I'll pay you for your trouble, she said. Well, I should be a problem, said Charlie. I'm sure we can get to it in an hour or two. Bobo looked hard at Charlie at the foot of the ladder, and if looks could kill, Charlie would be dead and buried. And Mrs. Dougherty, she smiled and she said, while you're there, after you do the windows, maybe you could do the weeds in my rose bed. They could surely do with a bit of a tidy up. It's August after all. Bobo sort of looked down and he smiled. Shouldn't be a problem, Mrs. Dougherty. Okay then, lads. I'll see you in an hour. And away she went. Down and he smiled. Shouldn't be a problem, Mrs. Dougherty. Okay then, lads. I'll see you in an hour. And away she went. Charlie was standing there, proud as punch, singing away. We're in the money, we're in the money. Bo still didn't look impressed. Well, that's just great, Charlie. Thanks for that. Is there anything else you want to organise for me to do on my weekend off? What is it, Bobo? Aren't you happy? We're getting some spondulics for pulling out the weeds and doing the windies. Bobo said, Charlie, I had planned to watch the football match over by the Loney. It was a treat for you helping me out here this morning. But now, you've gone and lined me up with this other job, weeding and washing windows. Sorry, Bobo. Like, how was I to know? Said Charlie. Well, the thing is, Charlie, it was going to be a surprise. You know, that's why I didn't tell you. 'Cause last night I was handed these 2 tickets as a gift for doing these here windows that we're doing right now. Bobo, I know. I put a note on Mrs. Dougherty's windowsill, and I'll tell her that the ladder broke and we can't do her windows. Bobo climbed down the ladder and shook his head. Charlie, you don't get it. The roses aren't growing on our roof. I don't get you, Bobo, said Charlie, scratching his head with a confused look on his face. Bobo looked up the ladder and he took a deep breath and he said, Let me remind you, Charlie, we're not just washing Mrs. Dougherty's windows, we're also taking out the weeds around the roses. Okay, Bobo. I know, I'll tell you fell off the ladder and I had to rush you to the hospital. Charlie, listen, I've learnt one thing in life, and that is you're as good as your word. If you say you're going to do something, you better do it. Or if you tell someone, I'll see you in an hour, you better be there in an hour. Charlie looked a little bit sad, deep in thought, and then he spoke. You know what? You're right, Bobo. We have to stick to our word. So, what time's the kick-off? Bobo replied. It's about half hour. It should be a cracker of a game too. Charlie asked. Who's playing? Bobo replied. Well, doesn't really matter, does it? Now we can't go. Charlie looked down at the ground and said, Bobo, I know. Maybe we could pull the weeds out like dead fast in 15 minutes and we'd still have time to get to the match. Bobo replied, Well, let's go and make a start anyway, see how we go. When they got there, Mrs. Dougherty was already there, waiting, standing at the front door. Have you got time for a drop of tea, lads, before you start? Charlie immediately replied, No, Mrs. Dougherty, we better get straight into it. Bobo gave Charlie a fierce look, and he said, Don't listen to him, Mrs. Dougherty. Of course, we'd love a cup of tea. And when she went into the house to make the tea, Charlie said, "What are you doing, Bobo? We're in a hurry." Bobo put his hand over Charlie's mouth and he said, "Charlie, you never refuse a cup of tea, especially from Mrs. Docherty. She will spread the word all over the village that you hadn't time to have a cup of tea. And the next thing you know, people will be talking about you, saying how rude you are. So you're better off taking the cup of tea. It'll only take you 20 seconds to swallow it down your gob, and then you'll not end up with a bad reputation. Get me?" "Oh, I get you, Bobo. Well, we can drink our tea and then we can do the windows and then the weeding and then we can go to the football match." Mrs. Docherty was watching every move from the upstairs window. And just as most of the weeds were done, Mrs. Docherty opened up the window and she shouted down, "Could you give the roses a prune while you're there?" Bobo responded, "OK, will do." And under his breath he said, "You must be kidding, as if I've nothing better to do. You happy now, Charlie?" Mrs. Docherty brought over 2 sets of garden clippers and a bin for the cuttings, and then she said, "Yes, I remembered. It's August, and it's a good time to prune back the roses. I'm so glad you're here this morning." Bobo and Charlie started to prune the roses, with Mrs. Docherty watching like an eagle from the upstairs window. Mrs. Docherty, she opened up the window and said, "Oh, it's good to see you both enjoying the gardening. Better than all those young lads, those hooligans, at the football game this morning." Bobo looked over. Charlie stopped laughing. Bobo was interested and asked, "What happened at the game, Mrs. Docherty?" "Oh, well, I was just talking to Mrs. Donaghy on the phone. Isn't it shocking? There was a big crowd there, and a fight broke out, and a goal or something had been disallowed, and the crowd went mad, and they spilled onto the field, and the game was abandoned. Ambulances were called, and they had to take away hundreds of injured people to the hospital. The police came and made some arrests, all over some silly football game at the Loney." "Well, now, is that true?" said Bobo. "It's the truth, Bobo. I've just been talking to Mrs. Donaghy on the phone, and she told me herself, because her husband was at the football match." Well, thank you, Mrs. Docherty, for that. We've just about finished now. Is that all you were wanting done today?" Mrs. Docherty: "Well, that's about everything now, lads. I'm just going to get you some money." She returned soon and handed the boys an envelope, and she thanked them for the great work that they had done around her house. Bobo and Charlie said thanks and goodbye, and they walked away down the street. Bobo looked at Charlie and he said, "The thing is, Charlie, you never know what could have been or what you missed when you weren't there." "Oh, you're right as always, Bobo," said Charlie, and Bobo replied, "OK, listen, thanks for lining up that little job today, Charlie. You probably saved us a headache." "Oh, no problem, Bobo. Anytime. I'll do it again some other time when you're not expecting it." Bobo opened up the envelope and he counted out all the money, and he split it evenly between them both. The end.